Whiskey and Nerds podcast.
I got this one, that one, and then I got 2 6-packs for tonight to bring to Brent's. I also made something that I completely forgot about until right now. It's supposed to sit overnight, so it's only going to sit for about 7 hours-ish. They're called PBJBs.
PBJBs?
PBJBs. They're peanut butter and jelly bears. They are gummy bears, and you're supposed to put them in like a mason jar.
Okay.
And then you pour Screwball peanut butter whiskey over
God.
it. So that's the peanut butter, and then the gummy bears like the jelly.
Yeah.
And apparently that'll sit. Because like, if you heard like devil berries, people like pour like Grand Marnier over like fruit and stuff.
Yeah.
And the fruit absorbs the alcohol.
Vodka watermelon.
Vodka watermelon, vodka grapes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this is the peanut butter and jelly gummy bear with Screwball peanut butter whiskey as the soaking agent.
I am made of questions.
Yeah. So we're gonna get to drink those tonight. We'll leave that. We'll save some for a review.
PBGBs.
PBJBs. So peanut butter and jelly bears.
Oh, yeah.
So I also thought about calling them like double bears instead of double berries. But I'm like, nah, I like PBJBs.
I'm already fucking it up, so I'm never going to not call it PBGBs.
PBGBs?
It still works. Peanut butter gummy bears.
Yeah, peanut butter gummy bears.
PBGBs.
PBGBs. That's almost better. Alright, so let's see. I got the reviews set up. I have some notes for Peacemaker Series Finale. Then we're going to talk about what everyone's talking about, the Doctor Strange trailer, and our new setup.
Woo!
We have a new room, which is my work office. So if any of you people that work with me listen, this is what the non-blurred out posters look like.
When I worked from home because I had COVID for a week.
Yeah.
I had like 2 different. I was like, why do I have to have all these video calls this week while I'm at home?
Yeah.
So I had to cover up the Deadpool laying in front of the fire poster, blur that out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I really thought about it. I was like, I really should just leave this on.
Yeah. So we are reviewing 2 whiskeys as usual. One is the Rebel Distillers Collection single barrel, 56.5%. We're getting hammered today because we're following it up with Penelope 13-year American light whiskey at 64.2%.
So I'm excited for the light whiskey. I've had the Rebels Distiller Select in different barrel, and it was tremendous.
Yeah.
I even tried to do an at-home blend with it and something else, and that didn't work. But it by itself was really good. Now, the light whiskey, do you remember the Jay Mattingly that I had? The one that was like carameled apples?
Yeah.
Like straight candy apple, really, really good. That was, by definition, technically light whiskey.
Okay.
You'd never know.
Yeah. Jay Mattingly does a lot of really unique and...
The trail boss you have is fantastic. That Grinch that I had...
Well, I said unique. I didn't say good.
That Grinch was terrible.
So we're going to start with the Rebel. We don't have any coasters in here. All of our supplies are in the other room. Oh, we'll just wait and pour this one then.
Bloop.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
True story. Slam shit. While you're fucking with that, Super Bowl happened.
Super Bowl happened.
Rams and Bengals.
Yep.
And the Rams won. Second straight home team to host the Super Bowl and win.
And win it.
Also, both NFC.
Yep. I don't know that fan attendance played much of a role in the home team advantage.
No, because
looking in the stands, it was a pretty even split between the Bengals and the Rams.
The Bengals showed out in droves.
Yeah.
Did you see the videos of the Rams Super Bowl parade?
No, I haven't seen anything on it.
They're like, look at all the fans out for the Rams parade.
It's like 8 people.
There was no one out there.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, look at the parade for the Bengals coming home.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just literally all of Cincinnati. for losing the Super Bowl had the biggest welcoming.
Yeah, I mean that's what fan base is.
Unless you're in LA or Dallas.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, good on Matt Stafford. Finally won one. It only took 12 years of playing in Detroit of not winning one playoff game to leave and go win a Super Bowl.
He finally got with a good head coach. That was the biggest thing. He's had decent defenses, and he's had, Calvin Johnson at different points. He never really had a crazy running game or a great offensive line. But if you look at it, and it was Pro Football Focus I was listening to, you take away this season, and actually more specifically, you just take away the postseason run and winning a Super Bowl, Matt Stafford and Kirk Cousins are the exact same player. From from QBRs to win totals to stats in general.
Yeah.
Everyone gives Kirk Cousins shit and saying he's he's crap, he's not that good, he's just a bus driver.
Yeah.
And then Matt Stafford went to the Rams, and everyone's like, finally, you get to see how great of a quarterback he was.
We'll put Kirk Cousins on the same team, and is it the same?
Exactly. So, I mean,
I mean, if you put Matt Stafford back in Detroit and you put Kirk Cousins either on the Vikings or when he had a mediocre run with the Redskins, where do you rank both of them? They're both mid tier. Yeah. But they're pretty close to each other.
Yeah.
So
by all accounts, they're the same quarterback, with the exception of since January, they've been the same quarterback.
Yeah.
With that said, they're of course going to try and run it back.
Oh yeah.
Do you think
that was the one part of the Super Bowl parade I did see?
Mm-hmm.
Was when
Matt Stafford was hammered.
Aaron Donald got up to give a speech, and Sean McVay started chanting, "Run it back."
Yeah.
I was like, that's kind of cool.
Which is cool, but it's also funny because it was up in the air on whether or not Sean McVay was even going to come back.
Yeah. Is he up for contract this year?
I think he's still got a couple more years. But he was going to retire, and he wants to do broadcasting.
Really?
Dude's 36.
36, yeah. You got a career ahead of you as a coach if you want it.
He's got another 30 years as a coach based on how long people run that.
Yeah, say Belichick's like, what, mid-60s? No, he's early 70s.
He's in the early 70s.
Like yeah.
Pete Carroll, early 70s.
Yeah.
Bruce Arians, early 70s.
Yeah. So, he could have 40 more years if he wanted it.
Yeah. Do you
think
that
is a long career being a head coach.
So here's my question. Which one of those two teams do you first question, do you expect either of them to make it back to the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl, no.
Do you expect the Bengals to be able to get back? I definitely don't expect the Rams to get back. This was kind of we literally went the golden nugget route and paid for
I guess it depends on who all they can re-sign. Who all on the team comes back will determine if they can make it back.
Yeah.
For the Bengals, they had so many near wins that could have been near losses.
Yep.
That it's like, I think the Rams have a better chance of making it back to the Super Bowl than the Bengals do. But I mean, I guess you have Cinderella stories happen twice. So,
I mean,
it would be that again.
Yeah.
They'd have to really invest in that offensive line.
Yes. And you're picking 31, so.
Yeah. Not a great start.
But, I mean, we'll dig into this draft a little bit and start kind of breaking that down as we get closer to it.
Mm-hmm.
The lineman positions, a little thick on both sides, both offensive and defensive line.
Okay.
Along with safeties are pretty heavy, and wide receivers are always heavy now.
Yeah.
Quarterback is super not.
Yeah.
There's no fucking quarterbacks. Yeah. You got
like all the big names kind of came out in the last two drafts, and
yep.
That's like this year, and I think even next year is light as well.
Yes. I think there's one guy people have an eye on for next year, but one season can completely change all that. So.
Start drinking whiskey.
Let's.
Okay. So it says eye. This one even gives you the eye. Eye. Caramel. The nose. What do you get?
Oaky. It's really weak on the nose.
It is. Me. Well, the other notes that are given. Oak is the first one. Caramel. Cherry heavy dried dark fruit. cherry, heavy dry dark fruit, cocoa, leather, marzipan, baking spice, and a touch biscuity with some coconut.
So I got oaky.
Yeah.
That was it.
That's it.
That's all I got. Doop, 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 doop. Fuck the chair.
Ooh, that's good on the palate, though.
Yes, it is.
Is that similar to the one that you had? Or
Yeah,
a little bit different?
The one that I had, I remember being like a little bit on the creamier side, where this one is a little bit more baking spices side.
Yeah.
Um,
And again, so this is a single barrel, so it's going to be a little bit different than the tasting notes we have here, but more than likely from at least the same mash bill or batch.
There's like a citrus zest to this with like cooking spices, cinnamon allspice. You get like the sweet oakiness, but it's not strong on the finish.
Yeah.
And actually, the finish on it isn't overwhelming or really
It's
clinging.
a lot up front, and then it fades out quick.
Yeah.
It says oak, corn sweetness, cherry heavy dark dried fruit, leather, nutmeg heavy baking spice. You call it the baking spice.
Mm-hmm.
Caramel, pepper, and a bit of vanilla, coconut, and earth.
What?
Yeah, it doesn't say it's earthy. It just says coconut and earth.
Man, this tastes like that earth.
Tastes like Pluto. I just took a semi-accidental really big sip. It was pretty good, though.
No, this is delicious.
Yeah.
I like this a lot.
So, Peacemaker is finally done.
They were greenlit for a second season.
They were greenlit last week. James Gunn wrote the entire 8 episodes of this and directed 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
3 of them each had one individual director. He's been greenlit to write and produce all 8 of the next season. So,
As
only good can come from that.
in Gun we trust.
Yes,
I mean,
pretty much.
now here's the deal though. When do we expect that? Because this dude's busy.
Yeah.
He not only had the Guardians Christmas special
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
and Volume 3, which I'm sure he's probably doing all in one go.
Yeah.
Once you have everyone there, you just
Yeah.
hey, we're gonna shoot these scenes. I'm gonna put this together as this one thing.
Yeah,
and
put a
then
Christmas hat on
here's-
and-
here's this, which I don't know if he's already started doing Volume 3. No, I know he has.
Yeah, I think he has.
Well, because Zoe Saldana has already been posting on Instagram her doing shit in Gamora makeup.
Gotcha. Okay, so then, yeah, there you
They've
go.
at least started doing one of them.
Yeah, so that's probably at least in post-production. But still, yeah. I mean, I don't know how long it takes to shoot a TV show. Especially one, because it didn't seem like it had a whole ton of special effects until like the last episode and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, CGI Eagle, but that's about it.
So awesome.
So I started watching the show, and I watched the first episode, and then kind of was like, yeah, it was good. It was serviceable. It's John Cena. It's dumb. It's funny. It's all right. The more episodes I watched, the more I got into it. I'm like, why is this show becoming good? Why is there character development? Why do I care about this eagle? Like, why?
Why do I love that the T-1000 is a racist asshole?
Yeah.
And his stupid ass Iron Man thing with the ears.
Yeah.
The white dragon.
Then the very last, the season finale came out on Thursday this past week. And we watched it. And it ended. And I'm like, how did that become a really fucking good show?
It ended so well, too.
It did. The cameos that came in at the end. We'll get to that. The cameos that came in at the end. I'm like, this is one of the greatest things I've ever fucking seen.
Really fucking hate that rumor.
It's not a rumor.
Fuck you, Barry.
But,
So good.
Yeah.
So we're going into this. You know they're tying it all up. And there's nothing outlandish on the edge of your seat.
yeah.
You expect it. You kind of know what's going to play out. And they give you exactly what you want. It was, and watching them in, conjunction with each other, the antithesis of Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Where Book of Boba Fett had a lot of cool things in it, like odes to this and pull to that and this great thing here and this ties into Star Wars fandom and this whole thing, but you can't stand the main character and most of the add-ins on the cast, whereas, and the whole storyline is really kind of weak and nothing to it. You don't really care. You're honestly, come episode 4, you're just trying to get through it. And
you're trying to finish it.
And it turns into The Mandalorian and you're back on board.
Yeah.
Whereas Peacemaker, there's not huge tie-ins to the DC universe, and there could be. There's lines referencing
when he makes
other
fun
people.
of the other, he makes fun of Batman. He makes fun of Aquaman multiple times. He makes
lot.
fun of Superman.
Yeah. Every time he brings up a different superhero in the Justice League, he says some outlandish rumor of them being gay or fucking fish or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
And so there's not any big pulls for anything, but you like the main character the whole time. His number 2, Vigilante, was my favorite person in the entire fucking show.
Yeah.
You're pulling for Harcourt, and I don't remember Waller's daughter's name.
I don't either. They're using her last name.
Yeah. So, Dyed Beard. You are actually pulling for this whole group. You love what happens. The storyline is unfolding and playing out for it literally being alien butterflies infiltrating people.
Yeah.
And
to a giant space cow.
Yeah. You get it. Yeah. Like, to be sold something so ridiculous and be like, no, I'm in on this. Whereas something like Space Criminal Organization seemed pretty straightforward. You didn't buy any of it. You were bored out of your fucking mind. You're just like, get to a fucking point. Yeah. Why do you keep taking your helmet off? Whereas the other one, it's put the helmet on, take the helmet off, do the cool shit with the helmet, whatever.
Yeah. What does this helmet do?
Exactly.
Human torpedo, I'm in.
Yeah. What was it? Those raccoons are fucking brutal.
He goes out, his face is all cut up.
He just looks at him. I have zero interest in rewatching any minute
of Book of Boba Fett,
with the exception of Cad Bane.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, the scene when he's going up against the sheriff, Timothy Oliphant.
Yep.
That scene was cooler than the last scene he was in, anyways.
That and the breakdown of seeing Ahsoka with Luke and Ahsoka and Mandalorian looking up at Luke and Grogu training. Like those, you had ties into.
There were cool Star Wars moments.
Well, because you had 2 seasons before that made you give a shit about that moment. Everything else in Boba Fett, you didn't give a shit about.
Yeah.
A no-name bounty hunter that got a cool following, and you tried to make him a good guy, and it didn't really work. And we did that ad nauseum, and I think we fixed it.
Yeah.
Or what would have made us enjoy it better. Peacemaker doesn't need fixing. No. In fact, Peacemaker is one of those things that is so... It's like a Jackson Pollock. It's messy. It's splattered everywhere. It's completely fucked up from just get-go, but it's so beautifully perfect. You can't move one of those lines.
Yeah.
You can't add more to it.
You can't add or change out a character.
You can't pull any of those lines away or any of those splatters or any of those dots. That's what Peacemaker is. It's perfectly fucked up.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of what James Gunn specializes in, because when we originally got the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, when it's first coming out, we're like, who?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? Is a raccoon and a giant tree?
Which is hilarious because people that loved comic books, who are deep into comic books, all said, why the fuck are we getting a Guardians of like, Ant-Man is a B-level Avenger that most people were, B-minus level Avenger that most people were like, huh?
That's
Guardians
credit.
is like 4 hits below that.
Yeah. But I think he was able to like, okay, I can take these guys and turn it into something that everyone's going to care about, everyone's going to love.
Yeah.
And so now you can take like anything 2016, 17 and beyond, comic book wise, it's like, oh, their comics are huge now because of the movie.
Plus, I think Ant-Man and Guardians specifically, because they happened fairly early on in the 23, there's a shit ton of Captain America.
Yeah.
There's a shit ton of Thor. Iron Man was a B-level character, but there's a shit ton of Iron Man. And they were bigger characters. So you could tell they tried to stick to a formula and a structure with those characters. And then you brought in Ant-Man and gave him this persona and attitude that carried differently with Paul Rudd. And then you brought in Guardians of the Galaxy, and you brought in a level of humor and ridiculousness. And, I mean, that movie felt like a frat party.
Yeah.
There's shit going on. Everyone's fighting. Everyone's drinking, having a good time, literally at certain points. They're all trying to do something stupid the whole time. And it's because of that, you get to open up and do something like Thor Ragnarok and be like, wait. What if we pulled this serious, structured character that you had Thor and then Dark World, where he's this guy. There's funny moments in there. Thank you, Kat Deddings.
Yeah.
But
most of the funniness comes from like his obliviousness to what's going on around him.
Exactly.
It's not actually him being funny.
Whereas Chris Hemsworth himself is hilarious.
Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston with him is hilarious. So what if we pulled that shroud back and went this version, and then you got Ragnarok, which was tremendous. And then you're like, okay, no. We can all relax our shoulders, and we can just play with the characters as they are. They don't have to fit this rugged structure. Because, again, you look back at the first phase, everything's real stiff and cut, and here's your storytelling and all that. And then when you get into the later ones, you're having a lot more fun. Mm-hmm. And then, like, Captain Marvel went out of its way to have too much fun, and no one bought it, and you're like, fuck off.
Yeah.
But because of that, I think James Gunn is a driving force in that.
Yeah.
And you bring that over to characters that absolutely nobody knows or gives a shit about.
Like Peacemaker.
Like Peacemaker. I even tell you in the first episode, there's not a superhero named Peacemaker.
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck about you. You're nobody. The scene where he's in the classroom talking to the kids.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good. I have to go rewatch this.
Yeah.
Don't want to watch a single minute of Book of Boba Fett. I'm going to rewatch this whole season just to catch some of the one-liners.
Yeah.
Because there's so many.
And originally there was only supposed to be one season. And even James Gunn came out saying, I don't want to make a second season of this. Mm-hmm. But I think it became bigger than what they ever expected it to be. They expected it to be funny, good, one season. All right, we're done. Let's go on to the next one. Because he was talking about originally doing another season, or another original season with one of the other people from the Suicide Squad.
And he didn't mention who.
Yeah.
It was probably Fat Man Beyond, but I heard somebody talking, and their guess was Polka Dot Man.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want it to be funny. He wanted to be like darker and dramatic. Still have a tone.
Him or the girl with the rats.
Yeah.
Those are the only two that really kind of made sense.
Yeah, exactly. So, he put on Instagram, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, because it came out Thursday. That the season finale was the highest viewed original release on HBO Max.
Yes.
Ever. That it had like tripled the numbers of the premiere, and that literally as they released and came out, more and more people were watching it as it came. So what happened was the first 3 episodes came out, and everyone was like, dude, you have to watch this.
Yeah.
It looks stupid. Peacemaker, whatever. I don't know if you've gotten that or talked to anybody.
Oh, yeah.
I get that constantly. I was like, listen, you got to watch Peacemaker. I saw a trailer. I don't need to watch it. It's stupid. I need you to put your jackass helmet down for like 4 seconds.
Yeah.
And just do yourself a favor. Set your bar real low to entertainment and not life-changing. Like, everything's not fucking Endgame. What are you expecting?
Yeah.
Everything can't be driving at this RPM at all time.
Yeah.
Downshift. Have a beer. Okay? That happened. More and more people watched it. Then it just gives you credit to the show. The further you got into it, every single episode, you cared more about the characters. It got a little bit funnier. There's a slightly bit more depth that happened with it. Every step got better and better and better.
You learned more about the villain, more about their planet, their culture, why they're doing what they're doing. And then you get the giant space cow that's being milked the entire episode. And then the final battle scene, it was just
when they walk through and just are shooting.
Yeah, when Vigilante and Hardcore are walking through, just taking everybody out.
He's got the shield.
Yeah.
Oh, it was awesome. With all of that said, we have this coming in Batman.
Yeah.
Coming in
March 4th?
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Literally 2 Thursdays from now.
Yeah.
Which 3 hours, sign me up.
Yeah.
I have high hopes, but given the current DCEU, the current DC universe of things, because this one is connected to all the other ones, Christopher Nolan's own thing. Jerry Schumacher and Tim Burton, it's its own thing. It's the Cavill, Batfleck, Godot group. Would you say Peacemaker is the number one thing DC has put out to date?
It's up there with Snyder Cut.
Would you put it ahead of Snyder Cut?
I'll say this. I'll watch the entire second season of Peacemaker before I watch Snyder Cut for the third time.
Yeah, you've watched it twice too. Look,
Yeah.
It's 4 hours. It's commitment.
You gotta put some time aside.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can
That's half a Saturday.
Yeah, you can split it into 4 sections and watch it episodically. And I kind of wish they would have.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they would have done a Justice League Snyder Cut series edition.
Yeah.
And just given you the episodes. Everyone else is like, no, I just want to binge stuff. Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just consume as much as possible.
As far as just total enjoyability, Snyder Cut was good, but I enjoyed Peacemaker.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Like,
So to answer your question, it's very. If it's not, it's just barely a peg below.
Other than just saying, yeah, it's dumb, but give me
something else that's better.
Give me a criticism of Peacemaker. Other than saying, yeah, it's dumb, but
Yeah.
give me a criticism. Whereas I said, give me a criticism of Zack Snyder's Justice League.
There's a few.
We did a very long podcast on breaking that thing down.
Yeah.
And picking it apart, and me literally piecing it apart on little thing after little thing. You can't do that with Peacemaker. Mostly because, again, you set the stage down here. This is where it's supposed to be. It's not a 4-hour epic.
Yeah.
It's here. You don't have the Justice League, except you
It's
get
the last
them.
episode. You get 2 of them at least.
The last minute of the last episode, obviously Godot wasn't going to show up, and you don't know who Superman's going to be.
Yeah.
So you couldn't show him, and you wasn't going to show her. But you have Flashpoint coming, and you have Aquaman 2 coming as well this year.
Might as well throw them in there.
So
And Aquaman was referenced a lot.
he was constantly referenced. So when they finally, at the very end, blow up the place, kill the cow, all that stuff, everything's finally done. They're wounded, injured, beat up, fucked up.
Yeah.
They go to leave, and the 4 Justice League members show up.
Fly in.
And the first thing is, you're fucking late, assholes. Why don't you go fuck another fish?
I really hate that.
It was so great. And then you see the outlines of them. You don't actually see them.
Yeah, and at first I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah, you just
Like,
figure they're
okay,
stand-ins.
yeah, they were gonna, which 2 of them were, but then as they got closer and like walked past them, you saw like Superman and Wonder Woman kind of get like closed out of frame. And I'm like, holy shit, that's actually them.
And then you actually see Ezra Miller in the Flash suit, and you see
Jason Momoa as Aquaman.
yes, standing there holding the trident and everything. You're like, man, you guys really this is what we want DC to do.
Yes.
In fact, if you found a way, I don't know, it's hard because you can't go that route. You can't go a Guardians of the Galaxy goofiness. You can't go a Peacemaker goofiness with Superman and Batman.
No. But I think what it was you got a Marvel director who's been there, done that, and was able to put like that kind of Marvel comedic likeness and spin on it.
Well, that's it.
And so that's what it took.
You just answered my question of why is this the best DC thing?
You were just the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You drafted Tom Brady. You're like, oh, that's what it takes to win? Okay.
All right, just give me that guy.
Let's go get him.
Yeah.
And let's go get him. I mean, look at Star Wars. They've already gone off and got Kevin Feige and Taika Waititi because they know what they're going to produce, what they're going to make.
And they actually started listening to fans and gave Dave Filoni more and more reins. Knock him or not for Boba Fett. I mean, he was in charge of that, but the Mandalorian that he gave you is amazing. I will fucking go to my grave harping on Clone Wars and Rebels as cartoons. But that's where he got his footing of, we'll just put you in charge of these. Well, those got better and better storytelling, and everyone's like, give this guy the reins of telling Star Wars stories. Don't give it to fucking J.J. Abrams. Don't give it to Kathleen Kennedy. They're just piecing shit together. Honestly, J.J. Abrams' goal for the sequel trilogy of Star Wars was to make 4, 5, and 6 again. They're the exact same movie. Yeah. Force Awakens and A New Hope are the exact same fucking movie. Yeah. That was his goal.
Yeah.
Fuck all that.
Odd goal to have, bud.
Yeah, it's a lazy goal to have.
Yeah.
That's lazy writing is what that is. So, yeah, Peacemaker is Perfect. It's
Yeah,
perfect. It's
it's
exactly what you need it to be. Again, it's not Avengers Endgame.
Yeah,
It's
not Zack Snyder's Justice League
it's,
for the action and drama that you.
It's not
go
this
to expect
grand
now.
epic. It's Peacemaker. It's down here. It's silly. It's goofy. Here is your McAllen 18s.
Go ahead. Perfectly serviceable Elijah Craig.
Yeah.
That's your Knob Creek 9.
Exactly.
You know what you're gonna get. You're gonna enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah.
And you're like, that was good.
You can kill a bottle with your friends, laughing and having a good time, and it's fine. This one, you have to be pretentious and probably wearing something that's too expensive.
Yeah. So I forgot that's what we're doing. Now we're ranking everything based on whiskey.
I forgot too. I was just doing it out of sheer.
So yeah, Peacemaker is the perfect pour of like a Elijah Craig Knob Creek 9.
Boba Fett's the Buffalo Trace of Star Wars things. Is that what it was?
I think so. Yeah.
Which tells you I like Knob Creek 9 better than Buffalo Trace.
Yeah. Oh, I think I like Heaven Hill better than Buffalo Trace Distillery anyway.
Sazerac things.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to move on to Penelope before we quickly dive into the real thing. And this one, I'm going to apologize in advance because I'm so excited about this movie that we could very easily rant for a while on this.
Yeah.
And really come off topic very, very quickly. So I'm actually going to leave it to you to direct this and kind of reel me in because, again, I could go the fuck off with how excited I am.
I have my notes for the most part in order of the way the trailer's broken down. That's an interesting smell. Ooh, it got really good at the end. So we're going to review this whiskey first.
All right.
So
Penelope American Light Whiskey, 128.4, 64.2%. Founders Reserve, corn, barley malt. Let's see what else we got going on here. Showcases rare and unique barrels. We were fortunate to find. Blah blah blah. Seagram's, Indiana, in 2008. This is 13 years old. Aged in second fill oak barrels, so it also cannot be labeled as bourbon because it was a second fill. However, there's notes on this. I didn't see any.
I didn't know that. Yep, there they are. Well, I've got the notes pulled up too. So
well, the notes on the back are notes we aim for. So good call.
That's why I got it.
But yeah, 13 years old. For it to be bourbon, it has to be. Is that on there all the way?
Yeah.
Okay. It has to be first fill. You know, Irish and Scotch constantly do second fill stuff.
Yeah.
Now, there's two things to that. There is some great Irish and Scotch stuff that is in second fill. Mm-hmm. Glenfiddich 14, for instance. Jameson Black Barrel. Ironically enough, those are both bourbon casks that they're finishing in.
Yeah.
But bourbon, American bourbon, has to be first fill. I feel like you could do more and more with second fills. And people do. Iron Root does a lot.
Yeah.
They do a ton.
It is odd that it's not a bigger thing because, one, like, we've got to be running out of oak. With how big bourbon has gotten, like, barrel making is like an all-time high right now.
It might have been Bourbon's Pursuit. It might have been something else. Someone was actually saying, oh, no, it was Whiskey Tribe. There's a video I was watching just the other day. They're like, hey, we're going to do a video on this soon. Everyone's running out of whiskey.
Yeah.
Everyone. Every distiller, every craft, all of them. They're running out of whiskey. Like, supplies are getting low, and they're getting low fast.
Yeah. Especially the ones that their standard is like a 4-year standard. It's like, it's got to sit for 4 years. Or you got to start making like a small batch, just younger aged.
Even the big ones like MGP. The demand is so high because whiskey and bourbon and all that is so popular right now.
Yeah. Everyone's out.
They're running out.
It's like, what a problem to have, though.
Not really, because shit's already expensive. A normal bottle. I had this conversation the other day. I was talking to a friend at work. And they were asking, we were talking about old fashions. Mm-hmm. The barrel-aged old fashioned, all that. They're like, well, what do you make your old fashioned with? Like, what's a normal whiskey? Because I assume you have nothing but pretentious stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, well, we got a lot of pretentious stuff, for sure. But the one I use is like a $50 bottle. Like a $50 bottle of whiskey? I was like, that's normal range.
Yeah.
Cheap is Knob Creek 9 at 35.
Yeah.
40. Elijah Craig, 35.40. Buffalo Trace, 35.40. That's your low end bottles. I mean, you can get your Jim Beam or your Evan Williams Black Label.
Yeah. I've never bought, I'm trying to think of the name right now. Red Wax.
Makers?
Makers.
Yeah.
So I've never actually bought Makers. I've been gifted a lot of Makers. And I've got some of their like specialty stuff that's been really good. But I went and because Piper's been putting that in her old fashions lately because she really likes it because it's cherry, very heavily cherry flavored. So I went to buy that, $22. I'm like, it's not bad.
And Makers it's great in cocktails.
Good, serviceable, yeah.
Yeah, and to drink it, neat or with some ice, it stands up to all that.
Yeah.
That was their big thing, is the best bourbon you can buy.
Yeah.
That's why it took Makers a really long time to do anything else, because look, if we've been marketing,
we're perfect.
Why
do we change it?
If you're perfect, what is this? Is this crap?
Yeah. Why do you make something that's second tier?
And then you have Makers 46, which is just Makers Mark, I don't know, sloshed in with other Makers Mark.
Here's some allspice.
Yeah.
And you're done. Anyways, what are you getting on the nose for this Penelope?
Very, I get it's light whiskey, but the nose is, again, also very light.
Yeah. So it does finish with light and sweet. However, there's one thing that you smell that once I pointed out, you'd be like, yeah, there it is.
It's kind of a almost tea note.
Close. So the main note that they give out, I don't get at all. It says kettle corn.
No, it doesn't smell corn heavy to me.
The other two notes that I get a lot, cake batter, Honey Crisp apples.
I get the apples. I don't necessarily get
cake batter. I get it a lot.
I don't necessarily get that. I get the apples. And again, I get like a herbal tea note.
Yeah. More of a...
Not so much like it would be on a rye.
Yeah.
But like a black tea in here. Ooh. Oh, fuck.
That's good.
That is creamy. Unfortunately, I saw it, so I immediately psychosomatically get the vanilla and creme brulee.
Yep.
Right out of the gate.
It's also got sweet and creamy, dessert flavors, creme brulee, candy apple, kettle corn. The finish...
Ooh, damn it.
Cinnamon spice, clove, confection sugar, vanilla custard, long. And I do get all of that. Not so much the clove, but everything else.
The vanilla custard, I definitely get.
Yeah. Like that creamy vanilla.
Especially when you eat anything with custard. Mm-hmm. Custard has an aftertaste.
Yeah.
It's not a bad one. It's not overly sweet, but it's also not bitter. But it has like a sugar residue aftertaste. This has that in spades. Now, this is 128. 64%. This, I think, would open up into something pretty fierce with a cube. Not a lot.
I think it would, because it's very oily.
That's thick oil, too.
Yeah.
And there's a lot.
And I think that's going to open up into something a little lighter, but a lot creamier and a lot more dessert-esque.
I think it'd be a lot creamier. Because the J. Mattingly light whiskey that I had was really high proof. Mm-hmm. Threw that one thing in it. Again, small cube, nothing crazy. Break one in half if you have to. But get it a little cold, open that up. This thing is going to taste like a creme brulee fresh dessert.
Yeah.
Custard, creamy sweetness.
Yeah. That's pretty fucking good.
That was a really good call. I always avoided grabbing this. The bottle is beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the etched flowers they put on and everything.
Yeah.
And I always avoid it. I'm like, fucking light whiskey, whatever, blah.
Yeah.
Never actually grabbing it, looking at it.
Yeah.
Wish I had.
Because that was what it was. I was very iffy on it, too, because one, light whiskey, two. I've got two of the Penelopes. One is phenomenal, like one of my probably top 10, but the toasted.
Yep.
And then I've also got the Penelope, that's the barrel strength.
Which is also good.
Which
it's
is
very
also
servable.
good, yeah. But I was like, because there was another one that they had, too. It was like a private select. So I wasn't fully sold on it, and I paid $90 for it. And then I looked up the reviews and the nose and the palate, and I'm like, ooh, those sound good.
You check all of our boxes.
Yeah. So this is
This is really good. Okay.
Good. But I feel like it's going to be sneaky, too, because it is 130 proof.
Yeah, be careful with that one.
So.
Gotta be a little careful with that one. Okay, I actually don't have notes. I took a couple pictures of my Marvel encyclopedia for breakdowns on Illuminati.
Okay.
That is very clearly referenced.
Yes. I'm going to turn this on. Sorry, Captain America said. We get a little more lighting in here for the sun setting behind me.
Oh, yeah. Good call. Yeah. Also, I took a picture of this. Shiner has candied pecan beer. Hard pass. Shiner needs to calm the fuck down.
Shiner's coming up with some weird shit.
Can we talk about Shiner needing to calm the fuck down? They're the Taco Bell of beers. All right?
Like, let's put it out there.
Yeah, look. You know what? Let's fucking put cheese on a tortilla and wrap it around the beer bottle. Shiner Gordita Crunch.
Oh, by the way, for the Super Bowl, I looked for the Baja Blast Mountain Dew. I couldn't find it.
I don't know if it's out yet.
Okay. I say in looking for it, though, there are 10 million different hard ciders out there right now.
I forgot the actual classification of what cider...
Or hard seltzers.
Seltzer, sorry, yeah. What those in can... There's a name for that classification. Because whiskey has jumped up like 200 or 400% in sales over the last 5 to 7 years. Mm-hmm. Seltzers have gone up like 2,000%.
Well, because there were nothing. You had like Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Correct.
Four Locos.
Yeah, and I mean, it's something mixed in a can.
Yeah.
The seltzers, the beers,
Well,
all
now
those.
It's seen as healthy because they're like 80 calories and like 2 grams of sugar, and we're just not going to tell you what else is in it.
You know what's healthier than that? Straight whiskey.
Yeah. It's just corn.
Yeah. I mean, there's no sugar in it. The alcohol.
Yeah, the alcohol, sugar.
It turns into sugar in your bloodstream, but there's no calories.
There's
There's 100 calories.
Yep.
It tastes way better. Anyway, I don't need to sell anybody on this.
Yeah.
So, again, you're going to lead this charge. I'm going to try and keep my shit together.
Okay.
Because I'm so fucking amped for this.
I'm going to do my best to go from beginning to end of the trailer. And this is the new trailer that just came out for the Super Bowl.
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, coming out May
24th?
27th?
End of May.
Sometime in May. May
Common theme.
Oh, yeah.
Good movies come out of May.
Well, that always kicks off the summer blockbusters.
Yeah.
X-Men. Every X-Men always came out in May.
Yeah.
Always did.
That makes sense. So the trailer, I watched the trailer twice today just in preparation for this. It came out 5 days ago. It's at 38 million views in 5 days.
I'm a third of those.
I've seen it 6 or 7 times now.
Those are rookie numbers.
Gotta pump those numbers up.
You got to get those numbers up, man.
Yeah.
I literally just, between watching it itself and watching it in breakdown videos.
Yeah.
And I sent you one. That's a guy I really like. Everything Always does great work on Easter eggs and dives real deep. Yeah. It rolled from him into another guy. That guy rolled into
another guy.
The guy after him, I don't know what his name was. I'd never watched him before.
Yeah.
But he had like 43 things of what it could mean. And he just, second by second.
Homeboy went deep.
Real fucking. I was like, okay, this is too much. You're bumming me out.
And the crazy thing is, and I realized this while watching the trailer the second time, because we watched it the first time, we just watched it all the way through, and we're like, okay, pick out this, pick out this, pick out this. The second time we watched it, we just paused at each individual cutscene, like, what are we missing? What's being pointed out that we can't see, right? And so that's what I tried to do, and I was putting together my notes was just find my own Easter eggs and then watch a breakdown video.
Yeah.
The thing that I realized while watching all these was Marvel is very good at being deceptive in their trailers.
Extremely.
So everything that we're picking apart now, we're Mephistoing.
Mephisto's going to be in the Illuminati.
Because you can even tell, like, through different cutscenes, when Doctor Strange talks to Wanda, I'm already jumping to the middle.
Yeah.
When he talks to Wanda, she's like, "Do you know anything about the multiverse?"
Yeah.
And then she says, Vision has his ideas about it. You could tell, like, that's not the conversation they were having. There's one line that he says, one line that she says, fixed and edited together for the trailer. That's not going to be the same way in the movie.
And okay,
Yeah.
keep going.
Okay, so we're gonna start off the beginning of the trailer. It opens with Doctor Strange looking at the Sanctum Sanctorum, which is just a lot bigger, or maybe it just looks bigger because it's not surrounded by other New York buildings.
No, it was a full floor,
Taller.
Yeah.
He opens the door, and we have the full. All you have really is the staircase, which is the same staircase that is in the Sanctum Sanctorum. It just goes off forever. And we have the opening dialogue that says, "Every night I dream the same dream. Some shit happens." And it says, "I wake up and the nightmare begins." So I think this movie is going to play a lot on like time, whether you're coherent, incoherent, asleep, awake. The whole movie's going to be based on time. Because, again, he doesn't have the time zone anymore. There was 2 different scenes where they looked at his broken watch.
Yeah.
And then one scene, again, talked about time because it shows him putting the watch on and his hands are all fucked up. And so I think the time is going to be like the plot of the movie. Or like the thing that Marvel has been doing in their TV shows. Like everything's based on something. I think this movie's going to be very based on time.
Okay, so I'm going to try not to tangent right out of the gate. But I'm going to. You said you saw him put on the watch and his hands were all fucked up.
Yeah.
Did you notice when he woke up from his nightmare and was rubbing his face, his hands weren't fucked up?
His hands are fucked up.
So is that part of the dream? Is it a dream within a dream?
Or is it a variant?
Inceptioning it? Or we clearly see that we're getting at least 3 different variants.
Yeah.
So things to look at. Keep going.
We're getting 4 or 5 different variants. Anyways. So then we have Doctor Strange saying, "I did what I had to do," essentially. And so he's got these little orbs floating around him, and he shoves them all back in a book. So the orbs, to me, they're red. So that, to me, means chaos magic.
Chaos magic, yeah.
Because the same thing as Wanda's powers, especially when she's in WandaVision, when she throws anything, it's all red. And that was always known as chaos magic. I think the book he shoves everything back into is her devil book.
The book she was using at the end scene?
Which it has a name, and I did not write down the name, even though I heard about it 1,000,000 times.
Same.
And I also think, and I think I had this same theory a year ago, back in WandaVision.
You did.
That the book that they're reading out of is the book that's missing from the Sanctum, or not the Sanctum Sanctorum. It's missing from their training grounds where he was reading all the books.
Yes.
Stealing all the books. And there was like the underground books say like you're not allowed to read these. And there was a book missing. And I was like, I think that's the book that's in WandaVision.
Well, hold on. I thought that book that was missing was the one that Mads Mikkelsen took. The one that led him to Dormammu.
I mean, maybe. It was, I guess, never really confirmed. So it could have been that book, but I think it also could be this other book because this other book, it's about magic, which is what theirs are.
Yeah.
And it's the books you're not allowed to read.
And
there's one missing.
Yeah, and you see, depending on which trailer you've watched, and I assume all of them.
Yeah.
You see that this place has some sort of impending attack as the clouds roll in, and you see all the different.
Yeah. Kamar Taj, essentially, is a place.
Yeah.
That is just under attack the entire film. You see an attack of like bombs essentially dropping from the sky or fireballs. You see another attack where it's like a giant black cloud rolling in.
Yeah.
When you get to see what is it? What's the guy? The half man, half beast.
Yeah, half man, half bull.
Yeah. Yeah. So apparently he's a character.
He is. He's in the comics. I literally just watched a thing on it yesterday that said his name and talked about him. Yeah. And I can't remember to save my life. There's so much going on in the trailer that. Yeah. Like he's literally just in there for fan service of the deep cuts because I guarantee he doesn't have a main role.
Oh yeah, no, that'd be a Minotaur running around.
Exactly.
Okay, so then the next scene we see America Chavez. You see the back of her, but you can tell it's her because she got a giant star on her back.
Yep.
You see the giant star portal, which essentially is her powers. I looked up a little bit more about her because as I've been reading comic books lately, I've not read a lot of America Chavez.
She's actually a fairly new one, and Martha was really excited because she's like one of the only Hispanic based characters. She's also like bi or lesbian, and then there's another more progressive character trait, to put it really nicely. And even she was like, look, from the stories I read, the character was really just checkboxy and kind of threw it in your face, and she also kind of whined a lot, and it was really annoying. So that was her take on the character from just the stuff that she read trying to get into it.
Yeah.
I've read other things where people are bigger fans of America Chavez. I think this movie could make or break that character as a whole. And traditionally, Marvel is very successful in such things.
Yeah. So then we see her, and she's in her own little portal that eventually you see kind of her portals throughout the entire trailer.
Mm-hmm.
We go from there into, you see, and I might be jumping out of timeline, you see Sinister Strange. I think he actually comes in later. We'll talk about Sinister Strange. That's one of the variants. Variants.
So you have our Doctor Strange, quote unquote, normal Doctor Strange. You have Sinister or Supreme or whatever he's called, Doctor Strange. Evil one that we get from, I'm just going to call him What If Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes. And then you also have Defenders Doctor Strange. You see him, he's actually the one with America Chavez when she's tied up and she has all those portals behind her. He's the one, he's got long hair, pulled up in ponytail, real long white streaks.
And he's got like this weird A or plus symbol on his chest.
The emblem on that one, he's got darker clothes and a lot more red, whereas traditionally Doctor Strange has
blue.
All blue.
Yeah.
So there's offset there, and they kind of doubled down on the blue. I think it'll be an offset to Wanda, who is going to. She has a more. Her costume has changed a little bit.
Yeah.
But everything around her is going to be real dark maroons, dark purples, dark reds.
Yeah.
So
interesting. So then we go off into Doctor Strange is captured, being punished for his crimes, whatever the crimes are against the timeline. So he's handcuffed and he's led in to be judged by what we're led to believe is the Illuminati. So,
oh my god!
Yeah,
you get Patrick Stewart's voice.
Yes,
and you see the outline of this tiny old bald British head.
Yeah. So that one's confirmed.
Yes,
unless they're just completely throwing us for a loop. Not even in the movie.
So the Illuminati Group, because in the breakdown one I sent you, he had guesses of this one looks like it's a Black Panther thing, and this one looks like it's Mordo, and this one looks like it's. I don't think it's a Black Panther thing, mostly because the original group, they tried to bring Black Panther in, and he refused.
Okay.
So the original group consisted of Black Bolt from Inhumans.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Strange.
Yep.
Iron Man was the kind of the driving force of it.
Okay.
Mr. Fantastic.
Yep.
Namor.
Yep.
Who we believe is going to be in the next Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. And Professor X. So that is... The team was created... First appearance was in New Avengers number 7, July 2005.
Gotcha.
And basically it was a whole bunch of really, really powerful individuals that wanted to get together and make decisions for the rest of the world. And traditionally, that always ends really well.
Yeah, yeah.
They always have the best interest of everybody else at heart and never get in their own way.
So who do you think... Because I've seen a lot of fan theories too. Mm-hmm. Who do you think are going to be... Because there's 6 chairs.
There's 6
3 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Doctor Strange isn't one of them. Unless a different variant of him is.
I would say it could be one of the variants.
Yeah.
We have. Could be Defender, Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
That'd be a way to pull him in, and all the craziness you saw at the beginning of the trailer actually happens in the third act of the movie.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
So, obviously, we think Professor Xavier is going to be one of them because Patrick Stewart's there.
You saw him.
There's been a lot of fan theories about Reed Richards because there's a guy that looks like he's got like a white circle patch on his chest.
Yeah. That is a push.
Yeah, because we paused the scene today on the big screen, and we got to right up on it, and it's like his entire chest is white.
Yeah, you can't tell.
So it's like, yeah, it's a reach. I've also
not
heard...
saying it isn't. It definitely could be, but it's a push.
I've heard fan theories of one of them being Kang and another one being Loki.
I don't think the Loki one, but I do think the Kane pull works.
I think it does too, but I think it's a different Kang.
Yeah,
than
it's
what
still
we had
Jonathan
in Loki.
Majors, but
Yeah,
it's going to be
playing a
different
different
thing.
variant. Yeah.
Or Kang was one of them and left and made his little loop that Loki went and fucked up.
Yeah.
And again, you can do anything with one line dialogue.
Yeah.
We had another, but he broke off.
Yeah.
You could introduce Namor in this capacity. I don't know that you do.
Yeah. Could be a weird, unless the Illuminati really plays a major role in this movie. It'd be weird to throw him in there and then kind of just back off the Illuminati and then
Have him be his own thing in Atlantis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not to say you couldn't. I mean, they did in the comic books.
Yeah.
But I don't see you introducing Namor that way.
Yeah.
So just,
unless he plays a larger role in the film somehow.
Yeah, I mean, because it seems so just matter of fact of, oh, he's here. You'll see him later.
Yeah, you'll see him in like a year when his movie comes out.
Because for a character like that, it's not. I mean,
it's not a brush off character.
Yeah, you cut yourself short on an introduction of, holy shit, that's Namor.
Yeah.
No, it's, and Namor's sitting there, and you already, pulled the curtain back on Patrick Stewart coming in, so now you know. Now you've brought in the 90 different X-Men films into
now
the
it's
MCU.
all canon.
So now the original MCU movie is 2000 X-Men.
Now let me ask you this: say the Illuminati is real, and that's what it is, and Reed Richards is one of the characters. Do you want the 2006 Reed Richards?
I liked him as Reed Richards.
I did too. Or do you want John Krasinski, Reed Richards?
John Krasinski.
Because do you feel like if they introduce, like, so the reason why I'm asking this is I feel like if they have Professor Xavier in there as Patrick Stewart, right? Then that's kind of like their way of saying, hey, look, he is here. It's all canon. But the X-Men movies that are about to come out, it's not going to be him. So if we have Reed Richards be John Krasinski, would that be like his Tom Cruise moment? Like, hey, look, I did get to play him. But then when Fantastic Four actually comes out, we're going to have this guy.
If you're going it that way, it needs to be the original guy.
Yeah.
If you're going about it the other
As
way,
you're introducing a new character,
yes.
then yeah. So that's kind of like, how do they go about it?
And that would be a great, damn it, that would be a really, really good post-credit scene of the Illuminati discussing something and saying we need to talk to somebody else, and camera pans and there's John Krasinski in Fantastic Four garb, looking to answer a question.
Yeah.
And then you're just like,
yeah. I think the end credit scene to this movie needs to be phenomenal. Like, you can't just have like him reading the book and then it fades to black.
yeah.
You have to have something epic.
So now do we get to the main one that everyone is literally shitting their pants over?
Yes.
Superior Iron Man.
Played by Mr. Cruz.
That is the giant theory. Would you be upset by that?
No. Because I don't want RDJ. Because I think if you bring him in, it makes his death, it makes it, knocks it down a couple tiers.
Yeah, don't give me Chris Evans and RDJ in anything.
Yeah.
No.
And if you give me Chris Evans, make him the Human Torch. I think there's going to be the Marvel comedic bit. Because you can tell this movie's going to be very dark. Much darker than any other movie they've made.
Well, they build it as their first kind of venture into a
horror type
theme.
Yeah. I think they're still going to have their scene of their funny scene. And it's going to be like them kind of like jumping in and out of timelines. And that's when you might see like Chris Evans like standing there and you're like, holy fuck, Captain America's back. He's like, flame on. It flies off. And you're like, that was fucking great. So you're going to have your little comedic bits like that, I hope, to where like he might like fly past like all these people and like flame goes everywhere. And you're like, well, that was fucking rude. And then like pans over Deadpool or something like that.
Yeah.
So like you'll have like your little bits like that. But then they're like right to like another timeline and then just continue on.
There is a rumor that they use this to introduce Deadpool in some capacity. Yeah. I don't buy it at all.
He's already said, I'm not in the film, but
that
Andrew Garfield said the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to move on to Dr. Christine Palmer is in the movie.
Yep.
Every time they show her, it's like a wedding venue type thing.
They show her twice, actually. Two different sections.
Yeah. Well, they show her at a wedding venue, and then they show her where like America Chavez is in like a holding cell type thing.
And she's in like a doctor's garb outside of it.
Yeah.
But that looks like it's at the Illuminati temple base, whatever it is. Because you also have the Ultron bots that carry Strange up. You see what you assume is Mordo
Yes.
arresting Strange and taking him to this place, which would explain, everyone guessed it's Mordo walking to the chair.
Yeah.
That would kind of make sense.
Yeah.
You could justify and roll with that one pretty easily. Because I don't see them sticking to the standard traditional list. You're not going to bring in Black Bolt from the Inhumans.
Yeah.
Especially because the Inhumans failed as a TV show horrendously. I never watched a single episode.
Neither.
But you go there, you see different statues. There's a lot of talk of the connection to those statues and kind of how that place was laid out versus King's Palace castle thing and the statues there, one of which was broken.
Yeah.
How that was laid out and the symbolism of those, what that could mean. So you do get to see Christine in a couple different spots. Is it the same Christine? Is it two different
Variant
Christines?
Christines? Yeah. I think that's me, and I'm hoping that's not what makes the movie confusing. Like, wait, which one is this?
Yeah.
Because
McAvoy or
like
Stewart. These timelines are confusing.
We've already discussed the Kamartaj is under attack. Mordo is back. I couldn't tell if it was the same one or
Same one.
a variant, because at the end of Doctor Strange, do you remember he was sucking powers out of people and evil?
Well, he sucked the powers out of the basketball dude.
Yeah.
He said, no more sorcerers.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's like, the problem is, you guys have this power, and you do what with it? You abuse it. You take advantage of it. You're disgracing what's given to you. You're using it so you can play basketball again. Fuck you.
Yeah.
This dude goes off and does whatever he wants, manipulates time, is completely reckless.
Yeah. So
That's the problem. No more sorcerers.
Yeah.
And he takes power from him. The dude's whole body goes down and he just sitting there shaking and shit.
Yeah.
So, and in the comics, Mordo actually becomes a main villain for Doctor Strange because he was always really just jealous of him.
Yeah.
He wanted to be Sorcerer Supreme. In this current situation, it went to Wong.
Yeah.
Wong is actually, because Doctor Strange disappeared.
Yeah.
So Wong got the title of Sorcerer Supreme.
So do we see Doctor Strange Supreme in this trailer? Because I guess we don't really know what it looks like. So does that mean Wong dies?
No. Doctor Strange Supreme, I always think of What If Doctor Strange.
Okay.
So, and you see him, that's when he whisper growls, things are getting out of hand. And you see one thing where he shoots tentacles out of his hand, in one of the trailers, in What If. So that's a thing.
Yeah. So we see them continue to move through timelines. You see them go into we merge into Jurassic Park. There's dinosaurs falling around everywhere
as they're rolling through.
And apparently that is in the comics. It's a section of Antarctica where there are still dinosaurs. And I just saw a bunch of pictures of Spider-Man riding Stegosauruses. But apparently it's a thing in the comics.
Okay.
That there's just dinosaurs. But it looks like they're going to fall into that and then fall right out of it. Yeah, they're just kind of see it.
Rolling through star tunnels.
Yeah. So we
portals.
see Sinister Strange, which is the gray version of Doctor Strange, when he says things just got a little out of hand. We go to the next scene. We see America Chavez fighting with somebody. I have two theories on who she's fighting. You see a glowing person with blue hands. Glowing blue hands. That she's fighting. So we freeze framed it and just go through the frames. Because you see them kind of blast through a wall and they kind of meet at each other. Apparently America Chavez is invincible.
No. That was Wanda.
Was it? She's got glowing. Her hands are glowing blue.
No. She's fighting Wanda. Not America Chavez. It's the glowing thing that everyone thinks is either Superior Iron Man or one of the Marvels with the blue hands and the power blasters. They're fighting Wanda.
Really?
They're fighting Wanda. Because you see Wanda blocks it with a giant red blast, and that's where they meet in the middle. And
gotcha.
You see what was the other thing? There's a different part on a different trailer. Honestly, someone, I'm sure they have, needs to piece all these trailers together in one big one.
Yeah.
Because there's parts over here that aren't in this. You see Wanda standing there in front of a building, and then, but that's after the fact. When they're fighting, they're in that building structure.
Yeah.
And I don't know where you are in your notes, but to jump into more Wanda, because she's in there, you don't know if that's Superior Iron Man. People are guessing because of the blue. People are guessing it's probably a Miss Marvel or possibly Monica Rambeau. I don't think it's Captain Marvel.
No.
But that scene where the blue thing of energy is blasting through stuff and then goes to attack a character, the character she's attacking is Wanda. Plus, so most of these trailers started out with Doctor Strange and a jacket and a scarf going to talk to Wanda. The first trailer, that's how it started. In an orchard somewhere.
Yeah.
And she's like, look, I made mistakes. People got hurt. He's like, I'm not here to talk about Westview.
Yeah.
Cut to just above, or just past where you currently are in your notes, where she's like, you break the rules and you're a hero.
Yeah.
I break the rules and I'm a villain.
It doesn't seem fair.
Doesn't seem fair. And how she says it, I'm like, Wanda's the bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this whole thing
This is her turn.
This is Illuminati setting up for, and you're not going to get the lines. I'm already getting fucking goosebumps.
Because you're not going to get Wanda anymore. You're going to have Scarlet Witch.
And you're not going to get the line, no more mutants, because you don't have mutants yet. But you could get the line,
we get mutants, or we need mutants.
Or no more Avengers.
Yeah.
And your Illuminati is bringing them in of, look, you did this, but it's opening a path. And when she says that, you see her in full Scarlet Witch garb, and everything behind her is in fucking chaos and turmoil and red and on fire and all this shit. Doctor Strange is wearing the exact same jacket and scarf as he was when they first started talking and everything was just a beautiful orchard.
So, okay, so we're going to break down that a little bit.
Okay.
So, say that is what happens. I agree that's what happens. I think Wanda is going to become Scarlet Witch. She's going to become as powerful as she can be. She's going to become essentially the Avenger Phoenix. And I do like that line, the no more Avengers, because it makes sense. Does that mean she's now hunting the Avengers down?
She could hold a whole bunch of resentment for losing her
Vision.
brother because of Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Or her parents because of Tony Stark. Her brother because of Ultron, which is because of Tony Stark. She lost Vision because of Thanos. And
because of the Avengers.
Because of the Avengers and everything that happened.
Yeah.
And
she lost her kids.
She lost her kids trying to do the right thing, and she's dealing with all this. But again, at the end of WandaVision, you see her, and okay, so let me get my thoughts together. You see her at the end of WandaVision, doing her Doctor Strange thing, where she's out drinking coffee, but the real her's inside, going through that book, and you hear kids calling out for her.
Yeah.
Now, the thought is she's starting to understand the multiverse. And we'll find out probably at the end of the second act, beginning of the third act, that she's actually very in tune with the multiverse because the kids yelling that she hears is from a different universe, and she's trying to get to them.
Yes.
And when she figures out that Doctor Strange breaks it via No Way Home, that's where all that happens of you don't know what you did.
Yeah.
Not him or who walked through, but somebody wanting to use that to get somewhere else, someone very, very, very powerful. And the Illuminati coming in saying, because again, going over the whole House of M concept, they come in third party and like, you don't know what we're dealing with. You're here. It's time we tell them the truth. Yep. Wanda is evil. Yeah. Wanda's pure evil. And she becomes the big bag of the whole thing, way more powerful than your last one in a fucking purple grimace. Yeah. Like, and how... And awesome would that be?
You have so much more care because it's a character you just loved for 7 films in a movie.
And now she's trying to destroy everything.
Yeah. Because everything was literally taken from her. I like it. I like where we're going.
Oh, God, I hope so.
So speaking of Wanda, we're going to move on a little bit further in the trailer. There's the Wanda Meetup, where you have the Scarlet Witch Wanda meeting up Sweatpant Wanda. And
they're in the Westview house.
They're in the Westview house. we paused the trailer and Piper caught something I didn't see, which was very obvious. Like, it's staring you right in the face. So one, it looks like Sweatpant Wanda is consoling Scarlet Witch Wanda.
Or just acknowledging she's there.
Yeah.
Touching her face.
So we paused it. There are 2 blue scooters leaning up against the wall in the background.
Oh, man.
So is she going there to get her kids? Because that Wanda might already have kids.
Or it's a memory. It could be just like kind of a safe place memory of when I was in Westview and I had these things.
Yeah.
And it could be one memory interacting with another memory where she officially cracks.
Yeah.
Like, you can make it where Wanda goes crazy and officially
it kind of sounds like that's where she's going.
Splits, especially because the trailer ends with her face all bloody and it scrolls into her just like crazy eyes.
Yeah.
Like the eye when you talk shit to your wife and say the one thing you know you shouldn't, and she's like, her eyes just go dead. Yeah. While she stares at you. Wanda has those eyes.
So in that scene, where she's bleeding from the face and everything like that, when it zooms in up on her eyes, we paused it there as well
to try and see the reflection. I tried too.
So earlier in the trailer, you see America Chavez, and she's in the scene with America Chavez and the doctor nurse Christine Palmer. So see Christine Palmer's like outside the cages for the holding cells. America Chavez is one, the other one's empty. When you zoom in, you see like 2 holding cells, and one of them has
like
one
the
person.
White squares.
Yeah, they're like white squares, like glass walls, and one of them has someone in it, one of them doesn't. And so we were thinking about it like she's looking at Christine Palmer, either trying to get to America Chavez because America Chavez can jump through timelines.
Yes,
and what better way to get your kids? And it's like Christine Palmer's like the last line of defense.
Well, not only that, because when you see what happens. The way you see her stand up in like a panic.
Yeah.
And look towards where the camera's coming from.
Yeah.
And then the other side is bloody-faced Wanda.
Yeah.
Which, sweet mother of shit.
Yes.
It'd be so awesome. I think we're on the right track. Because we're not breaking new ground. This isn't our own thing. This is
information we've pulled together.
Yeah, this isn't me with Loki of going... This is probably what they're going to do. This would make perfect sense. Let's watch them do it. This is stuff that people, hey, Wanda could be the bad guy. Like, the level of her power is something no one's ever comfortable with in the comics.
Yeah.
You can make that matter huge in this.
Yeah.
Through this movie. Very, very easily. And what's the giant monster's name? Gargantuo or...
It is
Garganto,
Shuma Gorath, the giant one-eyed monster with the tentacles.
And Gorath is one as well.
Yeah.
So you have those, and she could be bringing those in from dark places. As you can see, she can do a lot of the same things that Doctor Strange can.
Yeah.
So she could be bringing those in to attack and get to Chavez.
Yeah.
Which is why you see her tied up with a big scary monster in front of her, which is why you see her running through the streets at the beginning with the
Doctor Strange is the one that kind of saves her.
Yeah. Of, hey, you did something. Because they're trying to hide the fact.
Yeah.
Because they're like, you don't know what walked in or out. I think the conversation is somebody's going to be looking for something, and there's a girl who has the ability to do this.
Yeah.
Something. Or the Illuminati scene happens in the first fucking act, and then everything just shits its pants after the fact, and it's the Illuminati that tells you, here's this girl, here's the truth, Wanda's about to go fucking crazy, get to America Chavez first, you need to stop Wanda at all costs.
Yeah.
Calling it. That's my bid on the movie.
So the things that I'm still trying to figure out where they fit in is, so maybe you have Defender Strange come in, and then you have Sinister Strange. She's like, y'all are fucking up.
Yeah.
She's kicking y'all's ass. Yeah. Like, y'all need me. Because he's like the ultimate.
He's the
what if Strange. He's like, I'll do it, but it's gonna bring some shit. And I think him coming in to help them. Did you see when it showed like the New York type area, and there was black goo like taking over all the buildings, just like it did in What If,
where it was like everything disintegrating?
Yeah, so it's him coming in to help them, but in doing so, just fuck things up even more because his help comes from all this other evil that it's like it's hurting them as much as it's helping them.
All these other powers in the universe.
And then somewhere along the way, we get Zombie Strange.
Yeah.
And that ties in somehow. And he does the whole like multi-arm thing like he does in Infinity War. You're like, and that's just going to tie in somewhere.
It could just be them pulling whatever they can. Or...
Because you do see it when he's up on like a mountain range and there's snow falling everywhere.
And he's fighting the Dementors from Harry Potter.
And there's a quick cutscene, like it happens quick, when you see Wong like holding off of a cliff, like he's ready to fall. Mm-hmm. And it looks like that's around the same area. And
then you have... Ooh.
So maybe Wong does die.
What if... Don't kill Wong, I love Wong.
Or maybe he just opens a portal and falls into the
Good
portal.
old Benedict Wong.
Yeah.
What if Zombie Strange wasn't brought in on their side? They
kept brought in by Wanda?
Wanda. What if you have Sinister Strange and Defender Strange there protecting America Chavez and regular Strange trying to put everything together and he's just...
Yeah.
Because there's always... It's a film statement. There's always a straight guy.
Yep.
Where if it's a sitcom, everyone else is really, really fucking goofy, and he is the straight guy. He's the normal one. Like in Schitt's Creek, it's Eugene Levy. Yeah. Eugene Levy's the straight one. Everyone else is ridiculous and off the wall, and he's just trying to
corral everything back together.
The straight guy is usually the eyes and perspective and experience of the audience.
Yeah.
I think Doctor Strange is going to be the straight guy for us. He is going to be the eyes, perspective, and experience of trying to
chaos that's happening,
trying to figure it out in real time, and then most of the time, once you get to the third act, you're there and you want to see them resolve it. Yeah. So first and second, you're with them experiencing and going through.
Yeah.
Third, you watch them tie it up because you're already invested and you want to see a solution.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
You will have that. He'll get through. He'll be meeting other strangers. Things will get really fucking weird and real fucked up. And they'll bring in Sinister Strange, What If Strange for it. Mm-hmm. And when Wanda, they get to a conflict with Wanda, and she's like, oh. Does her own fucking thing. And then fucking Zombie Strange shows up. And they're like, what the shit?
Yeah. That's one more thing they got to deal with.
God, I hope...
The sky's the limit for this movie.
I hope I'm right, because if I'm right, one, you'll never hear the end of it. I brought up Loki again today. Two, this movie's going to fucking rule. Yeah. Especially if the Illuminati scene happens early in the first act, which now I'm really leaning towards.
Yeah, it makes more sense than if it's happened late.
Yes.
Because you feel like late is going to be dealing with Wanda.
Yes, this one kind of sets this stage. It could be like first act or first moving into second as a transition thing. Mm-hmm. But I think the Illuminati thing happens also, other than a couple action clips. Usually in trailers, you get mostly first and second act anyway. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that happens, and you're introduced to whoever the blue figure is, whether it be a Miss Marvel, because there are a Marvel's show or movie coming.
Yeah. You got Photon being Monica Rambeau.
Could be a thing. Or it could be Superior Iron Man. And he, in a, as we've deemed, an on your left moment, comes in to help try and fight.
Yeah.
Or that scene you're seeing is when Wanda walks in trying to get to America Chavez, sees Christine sitting there, she starts blowing the place up.
And then Tom Cruise comes in and saves the day. Or at least holds off it a little bit.
Tries to save the day.
Holds it off a little longer.
Oh, okay. Okay. No. I'm breaking this down differently. They already have America Chavez.
Yes.
Wanda tries to get to her.
Right. Because of her portal abilities.
And...
Because I think the entire movie, she's trying to get her kids.
Yes.
She's going, I'm going to fuck all y'all up. I'm going to go get my kids.
Yes. Because that was actually how House of M worked. You have something.
Are we going to see the return of White Vision?
No.
He's just gone. He just flew away and he's gone now.
They're going to use him for a West Coast Avenger thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, okay. So, Now America Chavez is knowingly on the run from Wanda the entire movie, and that's when all this other crap starts unfolding.
Yeah.
So pretty quickly out of the gate, we will know Wanda's the bad guy.
Yeah.
In fact, almost immediately, it's, oh, she isn't the sweetie of Westview anymore. Like,
she's the Scarlet Witch.
She is the Scarlet Witch. She knew what she was. She had to let go of everything she loved. And you don't know what she did from then. She
went and read that book.
Yeah. Over a pentagram with a whole bunch of... God, I can't wait to get this tattoo. Yes, I think most of the stuff we saw that we're really excited about is the first third of the movie.
Yeah.
And then everything else starts to unfold and we see different shit. And the Sanctum Sanctorum you see that's also melting away into blackness.
I'm curious to see how that's going to tie in the Sanctum Sanctorum and the Camartage where they train. Mm-hmm. Like how all that ties in. Like is she trying to kill all the sorcerers for some reason? Because they're not Avengers.
Not specifically, but she's going after anyone that can get her to Strange, that can get her to America Chavez, that can get her to her kids.
Could be, because it does show, I guess she wipes them out because the little training circle that they train on, it does show her like meditating with candles all around her on that same circle.
Also,
in the trailer.
One of them that broke it down said in that shot, because you see the clouds coming, you can actually see someone floating above them. Assumed to be Wanda.
Yeah.
I just got even more fucking excited for this movie.
Yeah. It's going to be a good movie. I don't see how this can be... We could walk out and be like, oh, they fucked that up. It's like...
You would have to try really, really hard to fuck that up.
Yeah, I'm excited about the movie. I do have one more fun fact about the movie.
Okay.
Trailer. Anyways, so originally Doctor Strange was supposed to come out before Spider-Man No Way Home. Back before all the dates got pushed.
Originally, yes.
So originally, America Chavez was actually supposed to be in No Way Home. And that was how her character was supposed to be introduced because she was supposed to open the portals for the other Spider-Men. They had to do a bunch of reshoots for Doctor Strange and No Way Home to have Ned. That's why it's in like an apartment. Yeah. Ned opens the portals and it comes in.
Which explains why they couldn't get to the point that we did of,
yes,
why didn't you do this?
So it makes me wonder if America Chavez was in it, would it have been the movie we wanted?
No.
You think they still would have had it like just... Because her character would have been in the movie.
Yeah.
It would have been like them running into her and then her like, oh, I'll get him.
Yeah.
And then open up a portal.
Wait, you can open portals? Yeah. I love Marvel's ability, just something that should have like 20 minutes of dialogue.
Yeah.
Is, hey, my parents always said that my family was magic.
Yeah. Then he's...
You have magic?
Works.
I have magic now. Cool. And that's it. That's the 20 minutes of dialogue you should have had was done.
Yeah.
And you could have done the same thing with America Chavez, but no. I think the only way is you don't have to explain anything.
Yeah.
You should have had Goblin throw the grenade, him reach out to get it at the same time, just like the hand, slow motion. He sees it and just whoosh, boom. And then she's like, who's here? Spider-Man, we gotta get you out of here.
Yeah.
Like, but Aunt May is like, I know we gotta go. And they start shooting. He's like, we gotta go.
Yeah.
And then he takes him
to Toby.
No, well, he takes him out. And then you have the scene where it's like, find Peter. And that's when Toby shows up. It's like, what? And then you can still do this. You're Spider-Man? Yeah. And he can also hang from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Like, stop throwing bread. You can still do, you don't have to lose.
So you still have your funny little garb, but you had the better scene over here already.
Yeah. And you're like, can you get that spiderweb? Sure.
Yeah. It almost would have been better with Toby because he's older and a little bit more awkward.
Yeah, he is.
And so I think that would have even worked out better for that scene.
And then they can be like, we're trying to find Peter. He's like, and Toby was the one that said it. Look, do you have a place that you take him? My place was always this. Do you know where he likes to go? And then you can go there, and he's sitting there by himself crying, and Andrew Garfield's just standing behind him, just like,
I found him.
Yeah, and then you still have the same scene of, hey man, we know my Uncle Ben did this. We got this line. This would happen. So enough correcting No Way Home into what could have been a perfect movie.
Yeah.
Now it's just mostly perfect.
I think we're gonna get one more Doctor Strange trailer before it comes out.
Cock tease.
Yeah. I'm very excited for this movie. God. I don't know if I'm more excited for this or Thor: Love and Thunder.
Right now it's this because I haven't.
Right now it's this because you've got the trailers for it.
Because
I
got
a little bit more, and
I have not gotten a trailer of Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher.
Yeah, I think it's coming though.
A tiny splash.
Yeah.
For the farewell.
This episode deserves a very good toast.
I'm so excited. I'm so glad we actually got to break down this trailer because again, there's so much, and now
I think we're gonna need to do this with Thor: Love and Thunder, with Wakanda Forever.
Yes.
The trailer breakdowns.
Yeah. We'll watch other YouTube videos and we'll piece together what we actually think is going to happen in this movie.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, here's to this movie's probably gonna be fucking amazing. We have 2 more weeks until Batman. We have a month, 5 weeks until Moon Knight.
Yeah.
We got a lot of good coming our way.
I'm super excited because that had a trailer release too.
Mm-hmm.
And you got more In fact, I think next week we should dive into what we think Moon Knight's going to do.
Yeah, I think so.
And then the week after that, we'll be able to do a full-on dive review of the Batman.
Yeah, because I'm watching it early Saturday morning.
I'm watching that Thursday.
Yeah.
So, perfect.
All right.
They have the things.
Thanks Marvel. Thanks DC. We love you. So
much.
Leave us a review. Leave us a comment on your social media platform of choice. If you want to commission an episode, it's free. Just let us know what you want to hear. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Rank, future big bads, movies, top lists, whatever. You can find us on social media, Whiskey and Nerd Shit. If you can't find Nerd Shit, the I might be a one. I think it's just on Instagram. We're also on TikTok. We will be on YouTube for this episode, so you can watch us opposed to just listening to us. You can send us an email, whiskeyandns@yahoo.com. And until then, everybody, drink whiskey. Hail Hydra. That is delicious. That is also delicious.